Good morning on this glorious Friday. We're getting ready for the Shabbos of Noach. And I wanted to touch on two little ideas and maybe combine them together. The first idea is the idea that the rabbis tell us that Noach, when the flood finally came, it says Noach entered the flood mipnei mei hamavo, because of the rain. And the rabbis interpret from that Noah hesitated about going in. And only when the floods were so strong and the rain so torrential, he had no choice, he went into the Teva. That's the literal translation. But there's a much deeper interpretation to that. You know, you look around what's been going on in this past year, and even beyond that in the world we live in. You look at all the norms that have been shattered. You look at the lack of moral clarity. You look at people that are flooded by waters of craziness. You look at the children who are on drugs. You look at the children who are lonely, who are depressed. You look at what's going on in our schools. You look at school shootings. And you look at a world that's mad. And where do you find some sort of comfort from that madness? And what the Torah is telling us about Noach is that there's one secure place to find respite from the waters of the flood. And that place is the shul. The Teva represents God's word. It represents the community centers, the Jewish day schools, the shuls, the places where we turn for spirituality, for deeper meaning. And I think it behooves all of us, no matter where we stand on the spectrum, in the chaos that we live in right before an election, and it's sure to get madder after the election. How do we guarantee that our children are saved from the floodwaters, the craziness that's going on in the world? And the answer has to be that we have to turn to the old age time of Torah, the values that have been with us for thousands of years, that has kept the Jewish children, the Jewish adult, the Jewish family together, spiritual, guided by a light that's not dictated by those who decide on the moment, on the spur, or by popular demand, but it's dictated by a God who's eternal and a Torah that illuminates the dark of the world. And that's the message that Noach was forced to go in because the floods were so strong and so powerful. If there's ever a time that we need the shul, that we need the Jewish day schools, that we need to study, that we need a Torah class, now is the time. And I encourage you to engage in our community or in another Jewish community, in a center, in a shul, for study, for prayer, for community, for guidance, for protecting ourselves from the waters, the craziness of what's going on. But I wanted to touch on something else too. This is from a Hasidic discourse from the Lubavitcher Rebbe in the 1960s. You know, the rabbis tell us that when God told Noah to build the ark, he gave him detailed demand. And one of the things that God told Noah was, Tzohar Taseh LaTeva, you should make a window for the Teva. And it should be above, high on the ark. And of course the rabbis argue, what does the word Tzohar mean? And Rashi brings two commentaries. There's nowhere else in the Torah that we find the word Tzohar. So one opinion says it meant literally a window. From the word Saharayim, which means afternoon, when the light is strongest, when the sun is burning. So God was saying, make a window. It's a dark Teva. And if you make a window, you'll have light. The second opinion says that Tzohar is a diamond. It's a gem that was so strong that had light of its own, that it was able to bring light to the Teva. Where does the word come from? From Zohar, which means to illuminate. That it illuminates from itself. It doesn't need something external. And the Rebbe said something so powerful. He says, when you're living in darkness and craziness, in the beginning, you need to find external light. From somewhere, from without that darkness, to overcome the darkness you're living in. But when you find that light from outside, and you work deep enough on yourself, you will find within the darkness itself, there's light also. Because if you think about it, the window brought light from outside. The diamond, the gem, illuminated from within. And when the message is so powerful that the Torah is telling us that yes, sometimes in the beginning of darkness you need to find external light, but ultimately you will find light from within the darkness itself. When you get strong enough, and when you are on the right track, you will find within that darkness light itself. In fact, the rabbis tell us something beautiful. The word tzohar means a window, but it also means tzara. Tzara means a crisis. And what the rabbi says that every crisis has a window of opportunity. Within that crisis, you're going to find within that light itself. And that's the message that the Torah is telling us. Tzohar tasa lateva. Listen, we all have to find light and guidance and warmth in the teva, in the home of spirituality, of godliness, of Shabbos, of community, of study. And when we bring light to ourselves, eternally we will awaken the light within the darkness to overcome all the darkness we're living through. Shabbat Shalom. Enjoy a beautiful day, and may we have light and joy and warmth in all of our lives.